Hello everyone. Hi Evelyn. Hi Vidit. Hi Chandrika. Hi Raghav.
Hey, Yuvraj, skills. Good evening, everyone.
Hello Vanshika. Hi Tavisha. Hi Sarthak. Uh, Evelyn, I'll take all the doubts at the end. Let's just start with the introductions.
Hey, guys, this is Ashprit. Uh, I'm currently pursuing BTech Computer Science in Guru Nanak Dev University, Amritsar, in second year. I'm a core member in TechSet Co. I'm actually a content director in it. And now my co-host Arpit.
Hi guys, my name is Sarpit. I'm a second year BTech student at Guru Nanak Dev University Regional Campus Jalandhar and a core team member at TechSetco. So welcome today. How's your day been? First of all, let's talk about the previous sessions. Let's recall what we did. On day one, a speaker taught us how to use HTML and CSS and created a skeleton for the portfolio. And on a day two, the speaker conducted a session on CSS and JavaScript, which helped us to make a site a little bit more responsive and toning into a proper layout. Then we provided with you a source code which you can refer if you have any difficulty. Now, in case you missed the previous session, you can watch the previous recording of it, which are available on our YouTube channel. Now, I will hand over the mic to Ashpit Singh. He will tell you some of the prerequisites required for the today's session.
So, hey there, it's me, Ashprit. Well, the prerequisites are you have to download Git in your device from any preferred browser. Uh, then, if you download Git properly, you will get hand of Git Bash and Git GUI. We'll do mostly our stuff in Git Bash. Let me just share my screen for you to download the Git. Just a minute. Just have to write Git, download, and then click the top link. And since mine is Windows, so I will click this Windows tab. Uh, my specification says my computer is a 64-bit, so I will go with this. Just download it, click download it. Do we have anything in the chat? Oh, hi. So, well, Kim, you were asking about the winners. We will have five winners for the goodies. Who will be selected for the goodies? Rest all of you will get participation of certificate of participation. It would be a certified certificate, verified certificate. Let it just download. Just a few minutes. It's all good. One Vishal, it will work too. Uh, yeah, it's done now. You'll just double click on this. Uh, do you want to allow this app to make changes? Yep. then this dialog box will appear. Well, since my Git is already installed in my device, so it didn't ask me for permissions. In your device, for those who haven't installed it yet, it will ask for some permissions. Just have to give it, and then click install. Since my device already has it, I won't do this right now. I already did it in the past. Stop share. Uh, and for the next prerequisites, you'll have to have to make an account on github.com on which you will make a repository and upload of your code, and then you will share your repository's link in the Google form, which we will provide you till tomorrow. Then our speaker will teach you how to make project, how you deploy your project on GitHub and make its link using GitHub's domain. Uh, and the final one is that you have to make separate files of code in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript in your local storage, and then upload it on GitHub. And just make sure that your location is correct. Some people were having trouble with their location, and their images were not loading as they wanted. On what basis winners will be selected? Uh, Kim, the our mentors will decide the winners. You know, and the best one, like we have given you three regions: HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Out of those regions, the best five websites would be awarded with goodies of GitHub and coding blocks, and also with certification of winning. And now I would like to hand over the command to Arpit to display our LinkedIn so that we can connect and grow topics. Arpit,
So let me share my screen. Wait a second. Is it visible? Okay. So here is my LinkedIn account. You can send me requests, and here is Urshpreet's account. Yes. And here it is Ursh account. You can send us follow connection requests. Till then, if you have any doubt, we'll try our best to solve it. You can ask us in comment section.
So
And hi, I knew
before
sir.
that, how's the Josh chat? Let's have a Josh check.
Any questions?
Also for the queries, you can also message in the group chats. When will you announce the winners? Yeah. So for the winners, will be announced next weekend. I can't disclose the dates for now, but yeah, maybe next week or weekend. When is the last day to fill the website Google form? Anyone wants to answer? Okay, let's.
uh,
For the Google form, the submission form, you can fill it by Thursday, and yeah, that's all. Yeah, so the speaker is now in the studio. Let's have him. Hello, sir.
hey there.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Means, I think the cam enable option is not showing up for me. And there is some issue here. Can you please check once?
You can try to rejoin.
Yeah. how to get certificates. So for that, you had to fill the attendance form last week, and your certificates will be delivered to you on your emails. Is it fine if I only use HTML, CSS, and not JavaScript? Yeah, sure, it's fine. How much time approx will we get for uploading? You have this whole week, so
Okay, now can should we start or there is
yeah,
something
yeah,
left? Okay.
we should start.
Okay, I'll just share my screen. Just a second.
Yeah,
So before
I will.
starting with how to host a particular thing, you guys need to know what particularly is Git and GitHub. That is one of the very important things that you should know being a software engineer aspirant. So because hosting on GitHub will not take more than 10 minutes, so that is why this thing is quite important for your career point of view being a software developer. Okay, so see, these two terms are completely different. People often get confused with what is the actual core meaning of these two terms, but they are having lots of things in common, but they are not same. That is the first thing. Okay, so I hope my screen is visible. Is my screen visible to everyone? Yes. Okay, great. So, see, now what is happening? See, Git is a version control tool or a system, you can say. It's a versioning system. It gives us versions. Means versions of what? Of our code. Let's say, uh, okay, let's say there is a very big project of, let's say, of COVID tracking. Let's say COVID tracking, there were huge numbers, and or let's say for COVID tracking, there was an app built, Arogya Setu app. Okay, so obviously, one single software development engineer cannot build this. It is not possible for him. No. So different versionings, different testing, different features, different scenarios, different upgradation, lots of different things needed to be added, and a single person cannot do that. So a team of person does that. Okay, so let's say if a team of person does that, let's say I have 5 people team. They consist of two SD1s, let's say one SD2, or let's say one SD1, one SD2, and one SD3. This team of 3 persons are, let's say, responsible for creating this Arogya Setu app. Okay, they are responsible for creating this app. So what happens is, let's say this Arogya Setu app is divided into 3 parts based upon the difficulty. Let's say the first easier part, the more difficult part, and the most difficult part. Okay, so these 3 parts are present. Let's say first, second, and three. Third is the most difficult portion. So according to their year of experiences, these persons are given these tasks. SD1 is obviously a fresher, so he might be given something lesser. Okay, to work upon. Some SD2 is a more experienced individual, so he'll work on something else. SD3 is a very experienced person, or a higher engineering manager is a more experienced person, so he'll work on something better. Okay, something more complicated and having more value to the project, that adds more value to your project. So let's say SD3 pushes some code, SD1 pushes some code, and SD, so these all code are different versions of code. So this versioning is taken care of by your Git, and where that code is, let's say, kept is a repo, a GitHub repo. Is Are these 2 points clear to everyone till then? Are these 2 points clear to everyone? Everyone clear? Are these 2 points clear? What is the actual difference and things. Okay, now the thing is, let's say while using this Git and GitHub, there are lots of commands, lots of different ways in which we can use it. Okay, lots of different ways in which we can use things. So the first thing is, the first thing is, let's say how there are some key terms you can say. So a macro level view of this is, let's say a macro level view of this is, what Git, what does it do? First, what, let's repeat what I have, whatever I have told till now. So what does Git do? So Git, it helps us to track code changes. It helps us, let's say, coding collaboration, tracking changes. So two major points are tracking changes and collaboration. Cool. So these two are the main core things of GitHub, Git. Okay. And similarly, GitHub, what does it do? It is not same as this thing. It is very different. It is very much different. What does GitHub do? GitHub is the tool that is making use of the Git, and it is the largest host of the source code in the today's world. GitHub. It's a largest repo of source code. Repo of source code. Okay, largest repo of source code. So major differences, these two things. Now, how do developers actually make use of these tracking changes and different things? That is our next agenda. Means there are several Git commands that, let's say, we use. So one by one, we'll go over each and every one of them. Some of the basic commands that you need to know, let's say. So let's say there is a source code basic structure. Okay, and what do the developers do, what the SDs do, or the developers do? They, this is, let's say, whatever is the main code or the master code. Okay, main or the master code, how they contribute. So this is the master code. They cut a branch from it, so branch is, let's say, you can say a clone of this code. It is a clone of this code on which this SD will work and push his changes. Pushing him his changes means modification, means whatever changes he wants to make, for making the, let's say, a feature or something, let's say, in order to make changes to this code, are pushed into this branch, and these changes can be tracked by other SDs. These changes are, let's say, tracked by other SDs, the senior people. Okay, so whatever modification he wants, he will not directly, the general rule for working is, he cannot directly make changes to this main code. He has to cut a branch is, you can say, a clone of the main code, and he will make modifications for this, on this branch, and once it gets reviewed, he'll merge his branch over here. So that is a complete life cycle of what is actually a, you can say, what is actually a life cycle of Git, and how things are, let's say, how your code is pushed into the source code, is pushed into the repo of GitHub. Is this point clear? No, a branch is completely independent. Means if they, it will only make changes to your branch only. Let's say I have, let's say I'm making let's take a good example. Okay, so let's say I have to make WhatsApp. I have to make, the developers who have made WhatsApp, or let's say I am making a WhatsApp with someone. Okay, so, and only three features are left to implement. Let's say a voice call, a voice call. Okay, or and a DP status, means you setting your display picture, setting your display picture. and let's say one is group chat. These three things are to be implemented. This is first one is, let's say, implemented by, first one is, the voice call is implemented by some SD1. This is implemented by some SD2, and let's say this is implemented by some SD3. Okay, and let's say this is my main code. This is my main code. So if I'm working, if I'm a SD1, if I'm working over this voice call feature, so what I'll do is I'll cut a branch of, let's say, any, let's say I can cut a branch of voice call, and this branch will, if it is cut from main, then it will have the full code of main. We will make changes to this code, not this one. This will be an exact replication of this main code. So we make changes over this, and then it goes to approval, and once it is approved, reviewed by the other folks, it gets merged into this portion. Similarly, this person will cut a different branch, not a same branch. He will cut a different branch and work upon it. Once it gets approved, reviewed, it will get merged. And merge only happens once it is approved. It's an industry standard, agile methodology of working, you can say. Okay. Same thing goes for the group chat. We'll cut a branch from main. So total 3 branches will be cut for 3 different features, and these branches will be merged once they get approved. Clear to everyone? Weber, is it clear? Hmm. Okay. So this is how the whole process of Git and GitHub, let's say, works. Now we are having, let's say, lots of different processes with regards to GitHub. So if you just go to GitHub, I'll just quickly show you lots a quick overview of GitHub. Let me share this. Cool. So if you go to GitHub, so when you will sign in, you will see lots of different things are there, and lots of different are, let's say, repos are there and stuff. So let's say if I go over some of the, let's say, some code or some something related. Let's say I made some project, this is made out of JavaScript using Node. So this is how your all the files are, let's say, managed here. Okay, all the files are managed here, having all the things whatever is required. Let's say this is having a app dot, these are JavaScript file, these are package.json, different files for different repos. Let's say some codes are present here. So if, let's say, these codes, let's say, are there, so you can see the whole code is pushed via your local machine over GitHub. All of these things are present, lots of different. This is the, let's say, whole. And what are these present, what are these called? These are called as repos. So if I go to this repository, so in my profile there are currently 26 repositories. Okay, 26 repositories. So this is how, let's say, your overall GitHub page looks like once you sign in here. So you will be able to, let's say, create. So if I want to create some new repository, how will I do that? That will be done like this. Just go to repositories, new. Okay, give it some name. You can select option for opting for a private or a public, anything like that. Mostly repos are public. You can give any name, let's say portfolio. Cool. So this is, let's say, done. Portfolio is available. It will, if it is available, you will be able to choose that. You can choose public or private, anything like that, and then you can just go on creating this. You can add a readme file, and you can just go on creating this file. This will, let's say, initialize a new repository for you. Cool. So this is what is, let's say, happen. This is a readme. You can obviously, if you will edit this, so let's say you can just write made by something, and you can just commit change. Now coming to commit, and see, these changes are, let's say, visible here. Now let me just explain you what is a commit, how to add files and stuff. So readme is giving you description about projects. Readme is giving you description about projects. Which portion you want me to repeat? How to create a repo, this part? Can you please specify which portion you want me to repeat? How to create a repository you want me to tell? Okay, so for creating a repo, it's very easy. See, just go to your profile. Firstly, everyone go to GitHub. Okay, just go to your repositories. Okay, over here, just click on this button, repository, and there is a new option. There is a new option here. So just click on it and your repo will be created. Give it some name and just click on create repo. Now is it clear? Just give it your name, some name, whatever name it. Hmm. Cool. So once this is done, let's say this gets created. So your repo is, let's say, created. Okay. Now let's say once your repo is created, what you need to do, let's say if there is some page or how to add different pages. So once your repo is, let's say, being created for everyone, let's create a new one here only. So let's say once I have created this, go back to repositories. Okay, go to your new, just go on creating some, give it some name, like website.github.io, websites dot. So for hosting particularly it on GitHub, you can use, you have to use a URL something like this, your whatever name it is there, and github.io. Okay, so mostly for enabling it to be launched on GitHub, this is, let's say, the technique that you need to follow. For other hosting platforms, you can choose any other thing as well. Okay, so this is how, let's say, you can create this websites.github.io. When you click over this, you will see lot of new different things. Okay, so what, GitHub is such a user friendly software, or it's such a very you can say it's such human friendly, or it's such developer friendly, that it itself give you everything that you require. It itself give you each and everything that you, let's say, require. Now how to, let's say, use all of them, so there are lots of options for that present, and we have multiple ways. So before that, first let's try to go over these, some of these commands. Okay, or create a new repo from a command line. First, the thing is, let me just copy this and paste it on my. First listen to me. You can obviously replicate the same steps and you can uh, go on creating the same thing. First you have to try to understand what I'm saying. Okay, so first let's try to understand these terms. How are these things, let's say, used? Okay, so first thing is to initialize git. So this statement is git initialized. So in your git bash or any other terminal, if you're on Mac or any other thing, you just need to use this thing to initialize the git repo in your local machine. This is just, you can avoid this, you can obviously, it is not much of a use, you can add the readme file, it just give you description about your project. Okay, it's just like that. Next thing is git commit. So committing is, let's say I initially, this is my, this is my file. Okay, I have written, let's say, one line of code and two line of code, and let's say currently I'm not able to, let's say, think of, I need a help from a senior developer to, let's say, help me here, and he says that whatever code you have done till now, send me that. So by the help of GitHub, let's say he has given me this problem statement, that with the help of GitHub, send me this two code, send me a GitHub link. So for that, let's say we will add these two files, and after that we will make commit. Commit is something like, you can say, giving your code different versions. So after first written, if after first line you want your code to be present at GitHub, so you will commit it, use, and in commit, inside commit, you have to pass a commit message that should be meaningful. Let's say, let's take an example for your better understanding. Let's say I printed something here. I printed something here. Okay, so I'll give a commit message that git commit this till here, it will be same, git commit minus m first commit. Instead of first commit, I'll write printed this whatever. Let's say I'm printing a is a string, that is having uh, s- some value, let's say abc. So let's say it is having some value a b c. So what I'll do is I'll give it a message like git commit minus m printed abc, or printed string a. Like this, you have to give a commit message so that it will be generated in form of a commit. How commit messages look like, I'll just show you. So these are the basic things that are quite important. Just give me 1 second. Hmm. Let's go back. Yeah, so if I go to this repository and if I go to commits, see, I have made 10 commits here. See, these commits are create, design a vending machine, updated, design a vending machine, created these things, this is this. These are all the commit messages. I made this code 19 days ago, I made this code 2 days ago. Okay, so these are some codes that I have pushed some time back. Okay, so these are, let's say, useful for understanding that what is done in which step, like that. Yes, we need to add them as well. Yes, so for adding them, there is this command known as git add and a dot. Just that. After that, you can give your commit messages like this, like I have told. Now, next step is, let's say, pushing them to your next step is, let's say, pushing your things to the next step. How to mention languages used in that repository? So that will be, yes, we'll do that. We'll do that. Okay, now let's see that what we are doing here is, let's say, the third step is, let's say, getting our commit. After commit, so next major step is your push origin. So pushing to origin means that push my code to GitHub. Till then your commits are made to your local system machine, and after that your code, when it wants to get to GitHub, it will, you have to just push your code. That is it. Okay, so majority of the three steps that are involved are git add, let me type them now, git add dot git commit minus m, whatever message you want to, like, let's say, create printed string a, something like that. Third step is git push. Okay, git push. Are these three steps clear? Language will be shown automatically once you see. Okay, I'll show you one example for that as well. Just give me 1 second. uh See, uh here itself JavaScript is already present. Okay, because all of them are present in JavaScript. After that, your next part goes to your let's see this part. So if abc github.io, it is all HTML, because only one single HTML file is present. Okay, here task manager, if I go to this portion, here it is Java 100%, because this file is totally written in Java. You don't need to add anything. It's written by, it's recognized by default by GitHub is only. Okay, so what you can do is, basically, let's say, these different things and how are these used. Let me just show you. Okay, is my VS code visible to everyone? So git add adds all your files. Git add adds all your files. I think it is not visible. Can you please confirm once that is it visible? For me, I think it is showing. Let me just reshare once. Okay, I think there is some problem with screen share. Just give me 1 minute. I'll try to. Hmm. Cool. So let's say let's discuss the steps one by one. You can just replicate exactly on Git Bash. So once you initialize your repo, so let's say getting git.add, someone asked that question. So git add is just like whatever files you have made, let's say index.html, style.css, or script.js, whatever files you have made, adding them to GitHub by using that command is for which that is only used. So let's say if I have created certain things, so you can just let's say do the same thing using git add. So what does this do? This will nothing but it will, let's say, add this folder or whatever name you have, whatever files you have constructed under this repo into your GitHub account. So you just need to let's say make changes using these things: git init, git push, and or you can just use this import code from another repository, and you can just give the repo name. So that URL is something like this. If you copy paste, or there is a method of a GitHub desktop as well. So what does GitHub desktop do? If you go to GitHub desktop, so that also can be used. Let's say just go to this, and GitHub desktop will make your life. I am on Mac, so that is why it looks like this. If you are on Windows, if you just go to GitHub desktop, you can download this and everything will be very simplified for you. Very, very simplified. All your GitHub changes, push commits, everything will look like very simple. Okay, so this is, let's say, one of the thing. Okay, cool. So what will, let's say, I do now from this? Let's say if I want to make, so what you need to do here now, so there are particularly steps that you need to follow. You need to clone this, means you need to, let's say, because obviously you have made your let's say your code in your local machine. Okay, after that what you need to do, you need to just follow these commands. Let's say you can obviously creation a new repo can be done with this. But if you want to push an existing repo, let's say using your git bash or something, like anything that you want to use, so you can just follow these three commands. First is remote add origin, this. So this is the exact URL that is present over here. So means this will come to your, let's say, GitHub, this repo, and you can add changes to this. and obviously then you can push your changes towards origin. Git push will also, just writing git push will also do. This is just a origin range. This is just giving the GitHub, let's say, this is just making GitHub know that you are pushing your changes into your main branch. That is the only thing, nothing else. Apart from that, what you need to do is, let's say, just adding it, just following the three steps that we have. How to make a commit, I think that is pretty simple. Let's say I'm making it default. I think there might be some problem with screen share, so let's try to make something out of it. Okay, let's make a index.html normal file, or I'll just copy some HTML from some place and just paste it. Okay, so that you are, let's say, just give me 1 second. Let's say I have copied this HTML and I have pasted it here. Okay, the same thing can be done with the help of your git bash as well. Just follow those steps. Okay, since I'm not able to share screen now, so that is why this is happening. But you can obviously just replicate those steps, and let's say this index.html comes into my file. Now how to, let's say, make committed changes? So committing new file here is making this, just write a commit message. This is what this is. Let's say you can give it a commit message like this: added HTML file. This is a good commit message. And just click on this commit new file. So committing new file. So see, automatically in my this now index.file is present. And how you can see your commit? See that added HTML file, this is a part of your commit. Is it clear to everyone? Is this step clear? Command line we will be using on a local machine. Yes, you will be connected to your GitHub account for that. Okay. Git init will, let's say, initialize your repository. You have to copy. In VS Code, you can automatically, let's say, git commit. Any more questions? So I'll move to the next part then. So no, since I created a new file, I created a new. You will be having all your three files present itself. No, so you can just use git add. You can just use git add and dot. Let's say two people are working on a single code. Yes, you can track using git commits, but those two different person will have different branches as well, no? So different branches code, you can obviously keep a track of them. I'm trying to share my screen, but I don't think it is. Just give me 1 second. Once again, I'll try to do that. Is my terminal visible now? Git bash. Okay. I see there is some problem. Don't know. Okay, nevertheless, I'll just. Hmm. See, as soon as I have pushed a changes, automatically your language is added. I haven't made any changes to this part. I haven't made any changes to this part. Okay, I think Arshpreet will share his screen so that we can proceed ahead. We'll just create a simple repo. Okay, so just you can create a new repository. Hmm. Hmm. So this way his new repository is, let's say, now created. Okay, this is the same step. Now let's say if you just go back to all of those commands, can you please move to the previous page where it was showing all? Hmm. Not this one. Just go to code part, repository. Yes, this project code. Hmm. So once you see these changes, no, so now how to, let's say, get them placed into your portion is, let's say, like, can we create? Yeah, you can exactly replicate these steps. No, just give me, yeah, but it is shown, but not shown all languages which are used, while open it shows only repository name. No, so because it is showing only one language name, because the thing is over here is, let's say, not giving you because in that project we have only used JavaScript, nothing else. No, in that project we have just used JavaScript, nothing else. That is why it is not. That is why if you will use, let's say, lots of different languages. Let's say, let me just give my screen share. Just if you see this portion, uh, if I go to other my other repository, let me show you other different repos. Let's say, see this. So it is having all the different language. Let's say this is a Docker based project. See, it is having Docker file as well. This is a Docker project using Node and other things. So all these things are mentioned. That will come by default. Let's say this is a Node project, so JavaScript comes. That is the thing. So language will come by default. Let's say this is a backend project. So see, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, all of them have come. Is it clear? Okay. So just going to this part and going to create will help you do all of the things. As I mentioned that you can give it any name like this. Let's say host it on GitHub. Let's say this is already taken, so I give it a random name. You can any random name you can, let's say, give. After this kind of window will appear, and you have to just make use of, obviously, creating from command line. Some person told no that how to create it, so just follow these steps. Echo is just for printing in the readme file, so you can avoid that. Just use one, two, first, commit one, branch, remote add, and push origin main. Just all of them, and everything will be sorted. if you, let's say, want to push some existing repo from the command line, you can just quickly use these 3 steps. Just that. I already told you, git add means adding this. If you write git add dot, so it will add all the files, whatever changes are present in your local, but this will add the specific whatever files are present in this specific repo. After that, you can just push your code changes, all of them together. Okay. So once you are done with all of them, what you will see that in your repository, some in your this repository, let's say, what will be, it will look something like, uh, it will look something like this. And once you are, let's say, it has all the code present over this place, all the commits, each and everything are present over this. In order to host it on GitHub specifically, so GitHub hosting can only be done applied towards the static thing, static elements. So static elements, I already told the difference between what are the different types of static elements. Okay. So what will happen is just you have to, till then, any questions till now? Yes, you can create. I told you, no, simple steps. How can you do the things I told you? I've created several repo. I'll again tell you that how to do that. Let's say if you give it abcde dot github dot io. Okay. after that create after that create, just follow, is what is written, it is written, create a new repository on the command line. Just follow these steps, you will be able to create that using this name. New repository means new, the means, let's say, you will be able to fill in data over here, over this url, means the acde repo that we have created just now, and you will be able to push your changes. Is it clear now? Navbar will be static. It it will be consisting of html css code only, no? That is the thing. Okay, git remote command. Okay, so this portion, so there are basically two, so this command, so what is git, it adds this whole portion, this whole url inside your local machine, inside your git origin is your main. And it, whatever code is present inside your local is now present at both of the places, means at this place and at that place, local machine and github. Okay. So this will add all your local files to the repository, whatever local changes you have made. After that, you can, let's say, just push your changes. Just use these 3 commands: git add dot, git commit, and git push. These 3 will be, let's say, enough for adding everything into your github. Okay. It will be enough for adding anything into your github. After that, once this is made, so very simply what you will do, let's say this is made. After that, this is some, let's say, untitled.html. You have to change, in order to make your github host, you have to change this to index.html. It shouldn't be untitled, it should be index.html, particularly for hosting on github. Okay. So particularly hosting on github, this should be done. After that, you can just go to settings. Just go to the settings. Now carefully see how you will host it. You have to go to settings. After going to settings, there might be an option. In Mac there is a different layout, on Windows it is a different layout. So there is an option of github pages. There's an option for this github pages. On this github pages, what you will do, on this github pages, here you will select this branch as main. You will select this branch as main and click on this save button. Once you save it, there after, if after 2-3 minutes, once you refresh it, there will be a there will be some link generated over this. And after some time you will be seeing a link present over here, because I haven't made index.html file changes. That is why this is this will, if I'll just redirect to it, it will show me a 404 error. But if let's say I make it change to some index.html kind of file, or let me show you this exactly the same steps you have to just follow. uh, Let me show you with some pre-existing repo. hmm. Let's say if I go to this settings and this pages, and I go to remain and save, GitHub source page saved, this will, let's say, appear, and there will be a URL here showing that your web page is, let's say, available on this page, and you can just directly click on this link and access your website. Till here is the step clear? Till here is the step clear? How will you save that? Is the step clear till here? This is a static page that you have, let's say, build. Any HTML you can add, you can use any of the HTML, and just in this index.html you will, let's say, okay, see, this deployment process is in progress, so when it gets complete it will be, let's say, available to you. Okay, it sometimes takes some more time, sometimes it is in 2-3 seconds just. Okay, so this deployment, and you can, let's say, obviously see when it is, let's say, deployed. Currently it is in progress. Let me repeat the same exact step for a new file as well, so that you can do it with command line as well. Okay, so let's create some AAA.github.io repo. Okay, again I'm just repeating the same steps. What you will do, you will create, after creating you will just use these commands, whatever is mentioned, just copy paste them down. I have explained each and every meaning to you into your git bash or anything like that. You have to just use any terminal, you will just get them. Or if you are, obviously if you are using VS Code, it will be a lot simpler. So on VS Code, just use these commands one by one each step. Okay, after that, once this is done, let's say what you need to do, you will be required to, let's say, add the same thing. You will be required to add the same thing. Let me just copy the URL, back URL. Hmm. or or you can just create a new file. For now I'm just doing that. You have to just name it index.html. You have to, let's say, paste whatever code you are having, let's say anything. Yeah, I'm just saving that. Once you have saved that, just go to settings, go to GitHub pages, just select your main and just save it down. Then after some time your link will be generated over this place only. Are these steps clear? Anything not clear? Okay, exactly the same thing is happening. Okay, see, now I'll just share my screen. That previous page is now deployed. Let me just share that tab, because okay, or let's go to, see, this GitHub pages is now active. And if I go and see the deployment, it is looking like Okay, I think previous screen is visible only to you. Just I'm just sharing this one. There is some problem with screen share for now. See this this small Pokemon website is now present over this URL. We did the same steps, no? Website github.io. This is the URL, and you can, let's say, visit it over any place. Let's say first, let's say I've just copied it down. I'm just going to Google and I'm pasting this thing, and I'm getting the same page. It is now deployed fully. Clear to everyone? Anything that is not clear? Is it clear, everyone? KBR, what was your question? KBR05. Can you please send your question once again? Okay, so just these simple steps and your website will be active. If I go to this place, uh, so this is, let's say, active. And simply what we can do is, you can just go over this place. If you go to my GitHub, and you will see that on active GitHub pages, there is one page active, and the active page is, let's say, present over here. You just need to click over this, and you will be redirected to the original URL. Okay, so that is how you can, let's say, host things down. That was one thing. And apart from that, for, let's say, using them in command portions, if you uh, just wanted to make it revise for everyone the one last time. So if I go to github.io, you just need to follow all of these steps. Everything will be done quite easily. Okay, or you can just use git add dot git commit -m, the same one, and your git push. Just three things will help you do achieve each and every. Just tried using them using git bash or your VS Code terminal, anything, and it will be very easy. Okay, anything that is not clear to you? Which part isn't clear? What is not visible? Okay, Okay, let me try sharing once again the screen. Okay. Okay. So I think we can have once git bash thing by I'll just walk over through git bash by Arshpreet's screen. So he'll just share his screen once and we can just reciprocate the steps once, okay, over a new repo. Okay. So Arshdeep, can you just share your screen once? The git bash terminal. Hmm. Just open the git bash terminal. Hmm. So see, let me quickly walk you through this terminal. So what this is actually, hmm, you can open any of the repository. I just wanted to show them some commit changes, how to commit. Hmm. Okay, so let's say if currently, can you just create a new folder on desktop and add it mkdir and cd. Okay. Hmm. Okay, so what does now see, once this is, let's say this has come, after this what you need to do exactly, you need to uh, as the steps instructed are to followed, if we do it in command line both are yes, yes, correct. So basically different terminals are present there, but mostly they do the same thing. Okay, so let's say if there is a new folder name, okay, and you can see the address for that, this that the folder is present over desktop. Okay, a folder is present over desktop. Now after this you have to use the command git init. So once you write git init in this, your github repo will be initialized. Okay, so once he pressed enter, see initialize empty git repository here, and if you will see the folder, it will be having your github present. Okay, it will be having your full screen. Can you show them once the folder structure, and also see .git file gets added here? Step one is done. Okay, after that let's add some, just create one index.html file here, not inside this, outside in the main folder itself. Yes, just create, just open Sublime Text or VS Code, anything. Yeah, you can, yes, just copy paste that index file over there. Hmm. So we have added, let's say this file, this is your present in your VS Code or your Sublime Text, wherever you are coding, and you are, let's say, gone over this. Now if I use git add dot on the git bash, it's already open. I'll just use git init first. Okay, after that git add dot. So if I do this, all the whatever file is present over it is added to the repo. Okay, after that you can see git status. If you write git, so git status is just a command for, let's say, the changes that you have made. We haven't made any commits, so there are no commits present. If you had made sub commits, then let's say, so you can just write git commit minus m and give some commit message. Git commit minus m, some commit message, first commit. See what happens. One git commit minus m master root this one file change 25 insertions. Means if you just open that index.html once, you will see that it will be having these many line changes that are present. Is it clear now? If you do git status, okay, working tree clean means all the changes that we are have made are now present in your are now committed, means there are no changes that needs to be stashed or changed. Okay, all of them are committed to your local code. Is it clear? So exactly after this you just need to do git push, and just copy paste the first thing. You can just write git push origin master. uh Name, it should be present there. It should be made, yeah, that repo name, whatever is in that present. Just go to GitHub, copy paste that repo. Yes, upper one, this one you can add git remote add origin or git push origin minus. hmm. Not like this. Okay, so this is, let's say, this is the command git remote add origin, and it will, let's say, add whatever is present in this, whatever thing is present in this URL. After that, if you will do git, the next command, just copy paste it down. Git push minus m minus u origin main. This is some other repo for which you have copy pasted the code. Just whatever project folder you have made, from that you have to copy paste it down. Not this page. Go back to your, create a new repository from scratch. This is the wrong repository. Yes, new one. Just give it some name, abc.github.io, full name. Create new one. Now just follow these steps one by one, all of them. Hmm. That is already present, no? Here. So Git initializes the Git things, Git files. Okay. You can basically think there are some dependencies from GitHub that are required. So for that to get connected, you use initializing Git. The git.git init folder now gets present into it, so that your local and your GitHub gets connected one by one. Git, just follow those steps only, will get added. Hmm. No, steps that up after git init, what is present, next one. Dot readme dot md dot commit dot branch dot remote dot push. Commit step, readme is already present, no? Cool then. So what is the thing? You just need to follow these steps. I think there is some problem there. So I think, see, just follow all of them and your portion will be good to go. Okay. So let's one by one see all the steps once again. Overall, the GitHub structure is like this only. You add, see, in the last 1 year I have made 1,128 contributions. So this is how you have to, you can, let's say, this is one of my account and another one in which I participate in Google Summer of Codes. So that project was basically based out of Red Hat, and in that also means there were lots of a complete Docker project was built. So the thing is, GitHub is a great tool for, let's say, knowing any sort of development. And GitHub is, let's say, used over each and everyone every time. And in each software developer journey, from starting to the very end, GitHub is the most used tool that you can, let's say, make use of. Okay. Creating repo is basically just like the same thing that the way I have done. You hosting part, I've also explained that you can see that if you just go to some, let's say, in this page, it will show that which all pages are, let's say, hosted present. We just hosted that website one, so see, it is still active and you can, let's say, visit it anytime. Okay. So that is the thing, we just deployed this one. And the deployment steps are very simple. Just go to settings, and go to this pages portion, and you just need to change this to main and just save it down. That's it. Here you will see your option. This is already hosted, so it might not be visible for defaultly present. Okay. I'll just also share a doc with you guys, so that you can basically go over these steps once again, and you can just basically go over all the things from the Git bash itself. Okay. So just hosting them on, but make sure that you are just hosting the static data, because only the static part is hosted by GitHub. If you want to make a complete full stack project host, you can use different hosting websites or different other things. Web host you can also make use, but that also has certain restrictions. So it is obviously dependent upon your project, that what thing you're gonna use for hosting. Okay. That is one thing. So apart from that, I think mostly GitHub is a great thing. You just need to play around these things, and so that you can, let's say, participate in some of the good, uh, very good contests. Like first one is my personal favorite, and in which I earned lot of, means it eventually gave me lots of learning and lots of different tech knowledge, and lots of, also in my, I think when I participated in GSOC in my third year, so I also earned lot of money as well, from just participating them and, let's say, contributing towards open source. So open source is absolutely a gem of a thing, in which you should be very much focused over different things, and you learn a lot basically. So learning should be your key priority, and in the learning part, what you will do is, let's say, you will be having lots of different portion. Okay. So just try to participate in GSOC. Ask your seniors or whatever people you like, you can just ask them, and, let's say, use the whole lot of things to the fullest extent. Just use as much as development as you can. Okay. Cool, then I think we can end this session. Thank you so much. Bye bye.
So sorry for the technical difficulties today. Um, Harsh, would you like to say something?
Hey guys, uh, do you want me to do the git bash thing once and for all? Well, well, I have a different approach, but I'm sure I can do it. Do you want me to do it, Chad?
Not G-Shock, it's G-Sock. Google Summer of Code. I think the
Yeah, sure.
this form. Yeah, the
Just a
forms
minute.
will be shared in the group chat. And for any queries also you can ask us in the group chats.
Uh, is my screen visible?
Yeah.
Okay. So I will just do the speed post kind of thing. First, I made a new folder. Then I'll copy this code. This is the code you will get after you created a new repository. Let me just create a new repository for you. I can do it. Uh, New repository, repo newest. Create, and then copy this on a new folder. Go git bash here, right? Git clone space and just paste it. Let's see it. Does it work? Let me just make. Oh, it did went. Have a dot git, and let me add some file. Control V. Uh, Git bash here. I will write git status. This is a right. It means a new file has been added. Then git add dot git commit -m and a message new commit to the new repo. Then git push. Wait, let's see. Yep, it went well. You see this enumerating thing. This is a sign I have kept for myself. If this enumerating thing goes for you, it is all done. Close the bash and let's refresh this. See, the index is gone here. New commit to the new repository 34 seconds ago. Then the settings and the deployment thing, GitHub pages, branch main, save. This is some new feature. And this code, keep an eye on this thing. When this orange circle becomes a green tick, your this thing is on. I mean, your GitHub repository is on. It is deployed successfully. You have to refresh it again and again. Still a green dot, orange dot. It sometimes takes 2-3 minutes.
Meanwhile, we can just take the doubts.
Yeah, cut downs.
Mm, For the
First,
form link, we'll share the form link in the group chat. And is there any other doubt? Yeah.
see this green tick has appeared here, and the file is index.html. So to check it, let's see. I will write first my username .github.io and slash the repository's name. The repository's name is repo newest. Repo newest slash index.html. Let's hope it works. Well, yes, it did. Since I only added the HTML stuff, the CSS and JavaScript stuff didn't get into it. And here is the HTML. It got deployed.
Harsh, can you show them the link in the pages too? In settings.
Which, which pages?
Uh, the link to the site. Just go to settings on GitHub only. Just go to settings
Yep,
and on pages.
pages.
Yeah, there's your live link.
I changed the branch from none to main and click the save button. You can also put custom domain. Well, I had a custom domain for my GitHub a month ago. but that domain expired and I'm too lazy to update it. So you need to arrange your HTML, CSS images in different folders. Vishal, you have to put all the files in one folder and just upload the folder. Let me
Oh yeah.
show you an example.
Uh,
Uh, this is my GitHub files. I put all of my GitHub folders in this. Let's say this is a to-do folder. I have a to-do repository, a repository named to-do, and put uh, all your files, the code files, this is HTML file, this is JS, and this is CSS file, and these are the images I need. You just have to put it here and do the code like I did, like get add dot get commit and git push. That's it. We can submit our pages on 14, right? Yes, Varun, we can. We have to keep all the code files and images used in one folder. Yes, Arthur, thank you. Thank you. We can submit our project on 14. Yes, we can, Vishwaram. So, are there any other doubts? Well, I think it was some kind of speed, speedy thing. So, you can always watch the recorded lecture whenever you have time.
and if you have any doubts, you can ask us in the group chat.
And
We'll
you
be
can
available.
just text in the group chat, the WhatsApp group chat, or you can just DM any of the admins.
What is the last day for submission? So the last day for submission is 14 September, and I okay, I think we should end the
Okay.
live now.
Yeah.
Sorry, to
Just
some.
all the best for the winners. You all are winners. I attended a seminar a few days back, and the host said a thing which touched me. Uh, Being there is 99% of the work you have to do, and 1% is just coding. So you all have done the 99% stuff. Just 1% thing is left, that is coding. Yeah. Thank you, Evelyn, for being the regular. The session is completed. Yes, Vanshika. So all the best to you guys. When will the form be shared? It will be shared maximum by tomorrow. So all the best to the coders. And I've already told you the top 5 websites will get goodies and certificates of winning
Mhm.
on their address, most probably.
And everyone will be getting a certificate, e-certificate of participation. Those who marked their attendance last week. So, thank you. Bye.
Thank you all. Have a good night.